Hey guys, so this is the ASL 3 video. We're going to talk a little bit about if you have a deaf patient and how you talk to them. And we're also going to touch on some colors and then a little bit on some basic signs for family. So let's get started. So I hope you can see this, but if you can't, I'm kind of going to summary the slide. So when you have a deaf patient, definitely look at them and talk to them personally and direct your conversation to them. They may or may not come in with a caregiver or an interpreter, in which case they might look at the interpreter for what you might say, or they might kind of go back and forth with the interpreter. If you ask the question, make sure that you remain eye contact with the patient and let them know that that is your main focus and that you are concerned with their health. Our professions, as well as the deaf culture, believe in patient first, so that they are going to really expect us to engage in them one-on-one and kind of act like the interpreter is not even there. So when you are to talk to a deaf individual, make sure that your eye contact and your communication and your affirmation and assurance that you are taking care of them and not as much what the interpreter is saying. So when the interpreter talks to you, kind of say okay and direct your answer back to the patient. So you're getting affirmation from the interpreter and you're acting like you're understanding. If you were to ask a question to the patient and they looked really confused, ask it in a different way. There's a possibility that maybe the translation didn't completely transfer over. Some interpreters are medically certified, some are not. The patients normally get an interpreter at will. They don't really get to select certain ones, and there's not always a readily available ones there in the hospitals or even outpatient. So definitely understand that there is lots of pictures. You definitely want to show them hands-on stuff. Deaf individuals are very visual, so anything you draw or have a picture of and kind of show different ways things are messing up or where it may be causing problems, something like that, visually works a lot better than just voicing it, because they're not hearing your voice and the interpreter may or may not know medical terminology to take it out of those medical terms and put it into a civilian terminology. So definitely understand that communication may be slower than you initially had thought. Sometimes it's hard for the interpreter to transfer over sentence structure or even just out of medical terminology, and that way the patient is able to understand. Their number one job is to make sure that the patient has a communication level and that they get the information that you provide. Sometimes, though, if they don't know what you're even talking about, the interpreter cannot interpret it that well. So if the patient looks confused, there's a possible miscommunication down the line. It's almost like telephone. So if they look really off, maybe explain it a different way. Maybe use more props, use more pictures. But when you do, focus on the patient, and that way they understand that you care that they understand, and not the interpreter, but that they understand. Also, I wanted to talk about a little bit about interpreter positioning. So the interpreter's number one job also is to make sure that they are eye level with the patient. So when the patient moves different positions, they need to be able to have that eye contact still readily available, because like we talked about earlier, that ASL is about facial expressions, hand gestures, and signs. So it's not all about the hands. Even if they see their hands, they need to make it connected with the face. So if they can't see their face, then it's not going to be completely interpreted. So just understand that, say if you were to tell your patient to lay supine or prone or to turn around or something like that, the interpreter has to walk or position themselves where the patient can see. So that may be kneeling down beside the patient's head, that might be leaning over the patient, that might be, you might have to take turns leaning over the patient depending on if you're asking them questions. Y'all might be right there beside each other. So just understand that the interpreter needs to be able to see the patient as well as you. So, and that way the communication is completely transferred. There is no miscommunication and everybody's on the same page. So they want exactly what you want. So just understand that you need to, take in consideration their needs also and where they need to stand. If it's really close quarters, maybe, you need to back up, let them get in, let them get out, you come back in. And it's really, considerations from both parts. They have to consider where you need to go, and you have to consider where they need to go. So just know that they have to stay in eye contact because it's very visual language, and they need to be able to see the face and the hands. So I just want to talk a little bit about that. So if you have any more questions about that, just please let me know. We'll talk it over. If you want, I'll demonstrate. As it says on here, it says role play. When we did this in class, we role played it because it's really hard to understand what we mean by patient positioning and the fact that the interpreter has to come in between sometimes and talk to them. So please let me know if you have any questions. All right, so we're going to do some basic colors. If there is any other colors that you were to want to know about and they're not up here and we're not going to discuss them, please let me know. I may or may not have a sign for you. I may or may not tell you the right language to use, just because some of the weird colors, they don't have a sign. So that's just a little bit of information. So for red, it's one finger and you're going to just kind of pull out your chin there, just like you're scratching your chin. Just one time. Red. Blue is a B, and you shake it. Green is a G. You hold it like this, and you shake it. Yellow is a Y, and you shake it. And you do it with the back. This is not right. It kind of feels weird too. So you just gotta keep it towards you and just shake it. Pink is a P, so it's a K down, and you shake it. Purple's a little funny because it turns into a P, but it starts out as a K, and then you just push down. So when you push down, it becomes a P. But initially, it kind of starts off as a K. It's just right there at your chin. You're going to push down. That's purple. Orange is the same sign for the fruit as it is the color. It's orange, and you kind of just milk your chin. That's orange. Gray has a couple different signs, but I go with this one because it's really simple. Your dominant hand is, I guess, closer to you, and you're just going to move it on your non-dominant. You can do both of them at the same time. It really doesn't matter. But it's just meaning this. It's gray. It's gray area. Black is one line straight across your head. White is like you're pulling string out of your chest. All fingers. Pull your fingers out of your chest. Like, the sign for like, L-I-K-E, is very similar, but that is with your middle finger and your thumb. And you're going to do the same thing and pull it out of your chest, but it's only your middle finger and your thumb. White, the color, is all of your fingers. And you just kind of hold them together at the end. Brown is a B, and you go across your face, or down your face, down your face. And if it's a weird color, like I said before, there may or may not be a sign, like teals and magentas and things like that are a mixture of colors. Somebody may know a sign. There might be a new one that came out, but I would just spell it. So teal is just T-E-A-L. The sign for color is color. So just on your chin, move your fingers around. Color. So if you want to say the color teal, you've completed the sign. So just let me know if there's any colors that you want to know. Ask me. I may know. That was just all the basic ones that I know. So you can have fun with that. These are some different signs for family. I put a bunch of them up here. If it's not up here, just let me know. I will either find the sign for you or I may know it. So just let me know. So as we talked about earlier, women are nose down and men are nose up. So all of the women's signs will be nose down. So mother is all of your fingers out like this. You can wiggle your fingers or you can just hit your chin. Daughter is girl. So just right here on your chin, girl, and the child sign. So girl, child, daughter. Grandmother is a generational sign, so is grandfather. So generation, that's the sign for generation. So grandmother is mother, but with some generation. Okay. Aunt is an A, and you put it right here beside your chin, and you kind of shake it. Aunt. Mother-in-law is mother-in-law. This is actually a sign for lawyer. So mother-in-law, that's just how they came up with it. Wife is, so this is the sign for marriage. Wife is mom, wife, mom, marriage. Okay. Girlfriend is girl sign with the friend sign. Girlfriend. So those are all of the women's signs that are pretty basic. If there's any other ones that you want to know of, just let me know. The boy signs are nose up. So father is either you kind of tap your head or you wiggle your fingers. Some people like to wiggle their fingers. Some people tap their head. Son is the boy sign, and then you go child, boy, child, son. Grandfather is the generational sign, so it's father, generational. Uncle is a U, and you just kind of shake it up here at your forehead. Father-in-law, same concept, father-in-law. Husband is father, marriage. Boyfriend is boy, and the friend sign. So those are a little bit of man is obviously to the chest, and women is to the chest. But if you're talking about an actual person, you kind of just stay in the region. Parents, you can go mom and dad, just mom and dad. Grandparents, kind of like that. You can go like this for a combined sign if you wanted to. You can't really do it for mom and dad. It's kind of a lot of extra space. You normally just hit both of them for parents. We did husband. Fiance is with a ring, so you would say fiance. You just kind of cup it around your your ring finger. Partner is, you can do the sign for partners or lovers. So it's with your thumbs, kind of like thumbs up. Put your hands together like this, and you move your thumbs up and down. So that means lovers or partner, either one. Cousins, the girl is down here, and you shake your C. The boy is up here, you shake your C. Nephew and niece is the same concept. Niece is down here and you shake it. Nephew is up here and you shake it. Grandson and granddaughter are a little different because you have to spell out the grand part. It's not generational like grandmother and father were. You actually have to spell it. So it's Grand, and then you do boy, child. So that would be grandson. So granddaughter is granddaughter. So that's the girl part. That's the daughter part. So those are your basic signs. Roommate is another one. So roommate, you take your hands kind of like this and you meet them. Roommate. Do not shake the sign up and down. That means vending machine. So just hit them together. That's roommate. So that is kind of your basic signs. We're going to talk a little bit about demographics. Not a lot. If you have more questions about demographics, let me know. These are just kind of the basic ones that I thought of. That there's a possibility you might have to sign while you're examining someone. So name is H, dominant over non-dominant. Name. So your name's what? My name, and you spell it. Age is kind of how old are you? So it's almost like you're doing orange, but you're pulling it out. So it's not here, it's kind of pulled out. So if I were to say, so I'm 23, so I would actually sign at 23. So I actually am telling my age. If I'm 1 year old, I come out from that. It's just the same with age. So age, you kind of pull out, age you. So it's how old are you? You can say how old are you and do the same sign, but you definitely want to come out. You don't want to say orange. So it's kind of like you're pulling your beard. Age is pulling your beard. If you ask them their date of birth, they may know what DOB means. They don't worry about it. So DOB, you can also ask them, you're born what month? MONTH, or what day? This is day, so month, you spell it, and day, and that's what. If you just kind of want to ask them basic questions, but you can sign DOB. Some know what that means if they're old enough. Address is kind of like the thumbs up, but you're going to flatten it on your chest and just not hit it, but tap it a few times. Live where, you could also ask them where they live. So live is going up. Address is hitting in the same spot. Live is going up, and you ask where. So live where, or address is what. Those are two different questions, and they may spell their address or write their address. Phone number, you can just, number is this sign. It's just like this. You just go back and forth. So phone number. You can say home number. They have a home phone. So home is the same concept. Almost like you're giving your face a little kiss there. Home number or phone number. Some people know their social security number. Some people don't. If they're old enough, they do. SS is an SS number, left to right. SS number. And they may spell it. If they want to ask their mom and dad's name, mom's name's what, dad's name's what. You can say both. But if you have any other demographic questions, just let me know. These are just some of the basics that I kind of came up with. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll post a quiz at the end of the month. So thank you guys, and see you soon.